That's why I believe tackling needs to be heading toward the helmet that Xenith is making amazing. Okay? Linear forces cause concussions. So what happens as you say, the impact is happening, now they're getting more chances to have the skull and the brain cushion for that hit. And then technique with great equipment equals success.
And Coach Moore runs 3 tackling academies on behalf of Football University around the country. They're well attended. They're typically half-day programs for parents, coaches, and athletes. I'm going to put in the spot, Coach. I know we don't have time for a full tackling academy, but if you and Joe would hop up really quick, I just would love to walk the parents through, if you don't mind, what your idea of a good tackle is, just so they can see it. I'll narrate it. I'll give you the mic. I know I didn't prepare these guys for this, but
stretch required.
And Coach Moore, assume Joe Bouffard is a all-state running back, as he was, of course. But give us a sense.
Okay, tell you what, this is what we're going to do. Like I said earlier, tackler has to be in great position, body-wise and structure-wise to make a tackle. Okay, I'm going to have Joe be the tackler, and I'll be there. I'll stay back. I look better than he does. But we'll start off the first few things is that we always want to make sure that your neck is in the strongest position. Before impact, we call it what we call a flat back stance. So what we're going to do is get the athlete in a stance where that his back is basically at a flat plane. What we're going to do is ask him to make sure that his neck and his eyes are up. So in this position right now, with the helmet on, okay, his first and second cervical spine are locked into position. So on impact, okay, they can support this 10-pound structure. Now Joe might be 12, whatever else. So what we're going to do is we're going to teach them through the contact with tackle. We are going to ask them, okay, the first thing is, as he comes to go through extension of the tackle, okay, we're not going to strike with their head, and we'll never talk about striking with their head, but we're going to put their chest on the ball carrier, and then we're going to ask them to roll their hips or put their belly button on the ball carrier, at the same time always keeping the neck in the strongest position. Okay? As he puts his belly button on the ball carrier, he's going to begin shooting his uppercuts. Okay? Get his hands above his head, his eyes on his hands. So right there you can see his neck is staying in its strongest position possible. Okay? We're going to ask him to do little things. Squeeze his elbows. Okay? And then as they get the chest out there, put the belly button out there, they're going to roll off of one foot, drive the other foot as high as possible. This, I got you supported, Joe. And this allows them, right, to keep the power going to the ball carrier. But a matter of allowing them to get their head poked and involved at all. Okay? Now, as he finished, okay, that takes you into our last phase of our tackling system. As far as now you're rolling off of one foot. Okay, the NFL's done studies. Being a great hitter, it's same size shoulder, same size foot. So you're rolling off of one foot, you bring the other foot high, and that allows you to run through your tackle. Right? You see your coaches, hey, run through the ball carrier. What I'd love to ask the coaches is, what do you do to teach them that? You know what they tell me? I get a head scratch. Well, I'll get them on the kids. But as you saw, Joe just really going through one of our basic, and that's actually the second part of our phase of tackling. You can see that the head is never, I get parents all the time. My guy always plays and hits with the crown of his head. I said, it's impossible to hit with the crown of your head if you have your chest pop and your belly button through, because your head, unless you're a giraffe now, okay, you can never have your head down. But then also, with things we emphasize, Rich, okay, we always emphasize eye focus. So we're seeing the ball carrier. Okay, as he went through that flat back tackle, okay, his eyes are always up. We're always emphasizing that. When he finished, his hands are above his head, his eyes are on his hands. Keeping that neck in the strongest position. So basically, Rich, I mean, that's partial of one phase. Now we have about 1 million drills. We take them through to get through that phase. But the most important part to that is, like FBU, it was all technique. It was all technique. And this is what happens. When I coached at Syracuse, been a safety, great athlete. Oh man, he can do all these things. You know one thing he didn't want to do? And that ain't too cool about me hitting that guy. But we taught him the system. As we grew him through the system, he became confident. You know why? He knew that if he shot his uppercuts and put his belly button on him, the strongest part of his body would make contact with that ball carrier. And now, power and strength came through him, through the ball carrier. Okay? So now instead of a guy going forward, the guy going vertical. Because your strength and your leverage are going through. Hey, football's an interesting game. You go 90 miles an hour laterally, but at the point of impact, it's about a 45-degree angle that you have to get your body involved to have your force and your inertia take over that other play. Okay? And that's what was happening.
Again, I think the point here, thank you, Coach, is that I knew it would take just one request to get around that seat and start coaching, so I appreciate that. But I think the point here again is that there is proper tackling technique, and we're doing it. We're helping out every FBU kid, every FBU parent, and their coach. It's a free thing. We go out and do 30 of these across the country. Some youth coaches show up, some don't, which will now kind of move on to the next question, Joe, that I've got, and we're going to go to the audience here. So how are the youth coaches across America processing this issue of proper tackling and certainly concussion awareness? Based on all the coaches who subscribe to your coaching platform, or our parents out here who may have great coaches, okay coaches, or maybe less than okay coaches, what are you seeing out there from the youth coaching world and how they're embracing this issue, the better techniques, the better technology? What's your take on this?
Sure, Rich. At the YBCA Youth Football Coaches Association, we talked about the culture change and affecting that. I feel that I'm on the right platform to do that because if you look at the pyramid of football, the lowest amount of participants are at the elite level of the NFL, all the way down to the most amount of participants are at the youth level, and that's where you have to effectively change the culture. So, where I'm seeing it, as mentioned earlier, Pop Warner came out and put the national mandate down that they will decrease the number of practices and hours that they will be able to have full contact with their teams. Now that's one national organization doing that. That trickle effect has now allowed for other leagues to adapt that same rule, whether it be a national organization like AYF, United Youth Football League, or just all of your independent, your local PAL league, your local Park and Rec league, are now starting to look at, what do we need to do from a risk management standpoint in our bylaws to protect the league from legality, but also to, more importantly, protect the health of the players. What I'm encouraging a lot of the leagues to do is put together implement a concussion awareness program, and it encompasses everything that both of these gentlemen have talked about. It is educating the coaches, whether it's through the SLI, Sports Legacy Institute Concussion Awareness Program that both Coach Moore and I speak at across the country, and just educating not only just the coaches, but you as parents. It has to be a combined effort because the coaches want to see the players 2 hours, 3 hours at a time during the day, where you're going to see them the other 23 hours a day, 20 hours a day. And you have to be on the same page with the coaches because the symptoms may not show up right after practice when the coach sees them on the field, but may also be those same symptoms with potential concussion issue could appear at home when you're and the coach is not there. So you, as a parent, have to be aware of what the whole concussion education and concussion awareness program is. And then, like both gentlemen have said, it's the proper equipment. Is it fitting properly? Is it the proper scientifically best designed equipment for it? Is there proper adequate air in the helmet? Is it fitted properly? Is it the proper chin strap for it? Is it the right size? Does it not move around? And checking it on a day-to-day basis, not just game. And then from there, as I mentioned, it's the technique. And then more importantly is from a league standpoint, is the management. What is your concussion management program for your league, for your administrators, your coaches? Are there trainers on the sidelines of every practice? Are there trainers on the game? Are they just EMTs from the local fire department? What is the activation plan if there is a kid with potential concussion injury? What are you doing it from there? And there's some great technology out there. There's a PAR app that you can get for your phone. It's fantastic. We've endorsed them through the Youth Football Coach Association and the Tackling Academy, and you can just PAR, just download it right on your phone. I think it's a $3-4 investment. Who would now invest in that money to protect your kid? And I think every coach should have it on the sideline, every parent, because you can log the information, your child's and athlete's information, and then also too is it gives you the series of analytical questions that should be asked when you suspect a potential concussion injury has taken place. You can log that email to home, send it to the doctor, so you're going to get instant information right then and there. And then again, going back to your league is, what is the activation plan? Do we sit them out? Do we have a certain doctor you go see? Are there baseline tests being done? More importantly, what is the return to play policy? And is it followed? And you as parents have to adhere to that and make sure that your league adheres to it too. So to me, it's the big culture change at that youth level, and that's the information I'm trying to push to the youth leagues.
So these parents should know that information on their registration, or at some point, when should they know it? Should they ask for it? What's the practical
being
thought about this?
Being a proactive parent, you should question the coach or the league to say, is there a concussion management program instituted in our league? Hopefully a coach on that first initial meeting, that preseason meeting should inform you of it. You should certainly ask for that. And if there isn't, please turn to me at the YPCA.org. We can certainly point you in the right direction. Implement one. The CDC has their heads-up concussion information, free information. It's a headsup.org, or it's on our website, and you can get it. And there's clipboards for coaches. There's information sheets to hand out to coaches. Coach Moore and I have teamed up and put his tackling system on a DVD, and we've included those heads-up concussion information right there on that DVD. So there's numerous ways where you can get information to your league, and if you're not sure if your league has one, again, I'd be more than happy to assist and put you in the right direction to get your league started.
I'm going to go to the parents in a second. One last question, and a quick answer from each one of you. I'll start with you again. So you're a parent, you show up at practice, and you suspect the coach who's got your kid isn't teaching proper technique, and let's just take this example. You really don't trust the equipment on his head. And again, forget who's out there and who's out there. What is a parent? What would you do as a parent? You've got a son playing for. What would you do